Hi, I'm Ray.
And I'm Jenny, and we're Rubber Family Reviews, and today we are discussing D's. Oh, not D's, C's. C's.
C's. We haven't got to those yet, one at a time.
Okay, C's was actually really hard. I felt like I had to make some pretty big calls to get down to 6 on C's. Whereas in B's, I had trouble getting up to 4.
We basically showed everything we own for C's. We got...
You mean B's?
Or for B's. I'm looking here. Man, letters are hard. Looking here, and we got a ton of the C's. And, you know, some of them are pretty oddball. For example, and this is one of my favorite roll and writes, Cosmic Run, Rapid Fire. There's multiple Cosmic Runs. So Rapid Fire is a roll and write game that is a race game. Your goal is to get your ship to the very end of your of these 3 tracks. And you're getting equipment and the like by drafting dice. And you roll a lot of dice, and you're just drafting those dice between the two, and you're moving. And it is a roll and write. You're just trying to get yourself all the way up to the top and move the blue ship, the green ship. I always forget the other color. Orange. Really quick, fun. Doesn't take a lot of space, actually. But it is a race game, and I really like race games.
He does, and when roll and writes were really popular, we gotta have some. That's one of the ones we bought. Well, they still are, but when we decided we didn't have any, we needed to buy, and I bought a couple, and this was one of the ones that really stuck. He doesn't like a lot of the roll and writes, and so this was one he actually really liked. This is Calico, and this is a puzzle game, and so I like Patchwork. I think Patchwork is a good game, but I think it is an ugly game. We actually just bought the Christmas one that I think is going to look prettier. But I hate that to do well, you have to make ugly quilts and you have to leave holes. This, you always get to finish quilts, and it's about matching, and everything just matches better, and it makes me happy. And then you're trying to attract cats, and I like cats. But this is definitely a puzzle, and if you like the puzzly games of trying to make things fit, this definitely requires some thought as you try to make the puzzle fit. More so than just min-maxing points, this is a puzzle. But it's real pretty, it's easy to teach, and it looks great on the table. Calico.
Another quick one. And this one's from Tom Lehman, the city. So he was involved with a lot of different ones. San Juan and Race for the Galaxy. This is a fast card tableau building game. Similar vein, you spend cards out of your hand to play your card for the round. But the cool part about it is the symbology and everything's way simpler than Race for the Galaxy. You don't have the action selection either, and some of that I do miss. I liked Race for the Galaxy, but this I can teach to anyone pretty quickly, and it goes fast, and I like it. It amps up fast. There is a fast amp up though. It starts out and you're like, I got a point. And the game's over at 50. You're like, oh, this is going to take forever. And by turn 7 or 8, you're like, and I get 54. Game's over. So I like it. The city.
I have the problem that I want to play all my cards and you can't. You have to give them up, and that decision sometimes drives me a little batty, which he enjoys. He usually kicks my butt at that game because I want to build everything and I get distracted. So, but they're fun games.
So the B's were my big games.
This is Cleopatra Society of Architects. And this is definitely one of the games that was on my Grail list, and they reprinted it and we bought it, and it's gorgeous to look at on the table. I'd like to get it to table a few more times, but it's really neat. I love how some of the cards are face up and some are down as you're trying to decide, because you don't want the negative cards. And I think there's a lot of different pieces to this, and it's really cool to see the temple come together. This is definitely something if someone walks by and they notice on the table. So getting in and out of the box though can be daunting. But this is a fun game. I think it was, we kickstarted the reboot, and we enjoy it. And I think it's fun, pretty, and I just enjoy it. So.
Ginormous.
Yes, that's my big box.
This one's an older one. Can't remember what year. But Compounded is a resource management, resource gathering game. but you're actually trying to get elements to complete compounds. Build up the compounds, and you get points for the compounds, but they can give you other things like you move up how many elements you can keep. You move up how many elements you can gather. You're basically got other aspects that when you collect an element, it will boost your ability to do something. And that's really cool. I like that one. It plays pretty easy, and it's pretty quick. And I've got the box in here sideways. We've got some of the expansions, but just doing the base one works really, really well. And it's there's no dice. I like no
there's
dice.
not. But you can light the lab on fire and have things explode.
It's just a little explosion.
Yeah. So this is Caverna, Cave versus Cave. Now I've played the full Caverna, I think once. We don't own it, but because we play so many two-player, we love the two-player line. And I enjoy this. I like building my little cave, building it out. I like getting all my different things. I love the resource gathering. He likes this a lot better than the Agricola. We have the two-player Agricola. It was on our A list. He likes this one a lot better.
Yep.
So, but I think they're both a lot of fun. And if you like the full version, you'll like the shorter one. Now, some people, obviously, you are missing some parts of it, but for us, the two-player works great so that we don't have the full of either because of how we play most games. But a lot of fun, and I think there's a lot of game in this little box.
Yep. All right, this one seems to have gone under most people's radars, and it's Copenhagen. Copenhagen, however, what this is you're going to basically get set collection of cards to buy a set of colored windows and or wall with windows, and then you're just trying to build up your wall of pieces, and you get points for how far you went, and if you got a straight across row, you would get certain amount of points. If you have all windows, you get certain amount of points. You get all sorts of stuff, and my favorite, and it's here, you get tiles that give you abilities, and you can get those by either putting over spots or doing different rows, and is it rows? It's rows, not the columns. No, maybe I got that backwards. Whatever, you do that.
Certain rows trigger it, and then there's certain icons on the board that trigger it.
And you get these abilities that you can use throughout the game. You either reset them or get new ones. Copenhagen works well. We don't play it often enough, but this is an unsung hero. This one's, it's not expensive. It's easy to teach. It's fun. Copenhagen.
And it's pretty on the table. It works well. The components are nice.
Yep.
And it's that basic Tetris that everyone gets. Okay, trying to build up and, trying to make the best rows possible. So it's a fun little game. This is Cottage Garden. I like the build your little tableau in front of you, fill up that. This is, again, I think a very pretty game. And you've always got two plots going. What's interesting about this is the end of this. And so when you trigger end game, all of a sudden you start losing points the longer it takes you to finish after everyone. So you don't want to be the last done. You want to be able to finish off as quick as possible. So you really need to be paying attention as you come into that last, because there's a timer mechanism, you go so many laps. As you're coming into that last one, you have to be paying attention to where you are, because you can lose a lot of points if it takes you too long to finish. But I just really enjoy this one. And we have the Easter Bunny expansion, so this is the game we always play on Easter.
Yeah.
And it's just, cute little fun thing. But the scoring mechanism here is really interesting. It's different enough to really make you take up. You might think, oh, there's so many different, kind of fill up your little tableau with the Tetris shapes. But the scoring mechanism is what I think makes this one stand out and be a little different. So, Cottage Garden.
Yep. All right. Cowboy, Bebop, Board Game Boogie. So I am a nerd, and I like anime. And this is the reason I like anime, is Cowboy Bebop. But this game, I would say, mechanism-wise, it's a fine game. It's a pretty solid game. It's a co-op. But then you actually feel the theme as you're moving to the different planets, looking for bounties, just to be able to eat. At the same time, Vicious is coming through. Hopefully you know about the anime, but if you don't, the main antagonist keeps showing up, and causing problems. And your goal is to complete your episode. You each have an episode assigned, and you're doing playing cards out of your hand to accomplish this. Key thing is you don't pick up your tableau until you can reset. And there's a bunch of things that go into it, but it feels like Cowboy Bebop. It's quick, it's co-op, and I recognize, all of the episodes that people have to complete work with them. So you could be Jet, you could be Spike, Faye Valentine, Edward. You all have access to I'm the Data Dog. So I like it, and this has been the most requested. So at a certain point, I really need to actually do a review and show how it plays.
He can do that.
You're going to have to do it with me.
Oh, okay, well, I played the game. I've never seen the anime, so.
I can fix that.
That's okay. This is Carcassonne. This stands in for all the Carcassones. We own or have owned, I think, every version of Carcassonne. This is probably Ray's favorite version, South Seas. But the city's really good. I like base Carcassonne, and we have all the expansions for it. We just have that in a Plano box, though, so it doesn't show as well. But you just can't beat basic Carcassonne. It's so easy to teach. It looks cool as you build it out. This one's really colorful and neat, so I think it looks really cool on the table. And if you've got someone you're trying to introduce to gaming, or someone who says they don't like it, this is a game that almost everyone enjoys. And I think no matter what level of gamer you are, this is a game you can enjoy, because you can, get as involved as you try to finish different things as you want. So I think there's a lot to like in these boxes. And as said, there's a version for everyone. And so you can check out all the different versions. As I said, we played probably all the versions at this point.
Yeah.
We haven't kept all of the versions, and we don't like all the expansions, but I think it depends on how you play them. I think there's a Carcassonne for pretty much everyone.
Yep.
So.
All right. Carson City. This box has wear on it, because this is one of my favorite games of all time. And I know it probably slides and shifts, but we played it the other day, and it's worker placement with some area control. You get points, but you can fight someone. You can have a gunfight for the spot, so you both can place your worker there, and the one that wins gets to do the action. The other person takes their meeple back to their personal supply, but that other person basically essentially loses their meeple. The law catches them and drags them off, so they don't get them back for the next round. So it's an interesting mechanism, and you have to consider and weigh out lots of options, including when to actually select and spend money on getting victory points. So Carson City, old one. I've got the old edition. It's got the cash and guns in it. There was a reprint here recently, like the 10th anniversary one. Great game. Love it. Carson City.
This is Catan Rise the Incas, but again, this stands for all the Catans. I like Catan a lot more than he does, but our kids like Catan. Mm-hmm. And I love all the different specialty Catans. I really enjoyed Incas, although we played it with our younger son, because you need 3 to play Catan. And so we're like, we got to learn this one, play it with us. And I looked at the rules, like, oh my God, he's going to hate it. And I was right. He does hate it, because your civilizations decline and you start new ones. It's really cool. It feels still like Catan, but it's got a whole new thing. So you want to feel like you've got a new version of Catan, this is the one for you. But our 11-year-old doesn't agree. But I just like Catan. I enjoy it. And I played so much Catan on the app.
Yep.
And I just enjoy it. I like getting all my little stuff. I like building my little settlements. I just enjoy everything about Catan. And I think, again, so many people have played it. It's a great one. But if you feel like you've played out even with some of the expansions, try some of the specialty ones. They're very different. They've got their own feel. They can be a pain to find, some of them, but most of them are really worth it seeking out and finding. And I think they offer something new to the table that still feels very Catan. I have a few little honorable mentions I'm going to throw in here. These are games, well, the thing I was going to mention is the game we don't own anymore, but that we play probably almost as much as we play anything else, is Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
But we had 6.
Well, I know, but I can do what I want. Castles of Mad King Ludwig, we play on the app. Now, the reason is it doesn't play well 2 players. It's a pain in the butt to set up. The rules are kind of like, I got to remember all the different bonuses. The app does it for you. We play a ton of castles, but we don't own it anymore. So that's probably one of ours. Our kids, Cardline is our son's favorite game. We have the animals and the dinosaur ones, and so I felt like that deserved an honorable mention. It's quick and easy, and again, that's a game we play a ton of because we usually play it in sets of 3 with the animals, and we have several copies all floating around because we have one at the cabin, we have one in the motorhome, in Grandma's motorhome, so we have a lot of copies of those floating around because we play them so much. So I have more on here, but that's all I'm going to mention.
What else you got?
Well, I was saying like Canasta. I love Canasta.
But that's a card game.
And
that's
Clue?
an old lady game.
Clue. I love Clue. We
Yeah,
enjoy Clue.
Clue.
Although our 11-year-old wants to turn Clue into a co-op, and he's frustrated that it's not a co-op, so that's kind of hard. And then Codenames. We play a lot of Codenames as well because it's a party game. So
yeah, but
there's a lot of C's.
Yeah, but those are pretty normal. Like these are weird ones.
Well, I know, but it's important to mention the normal ones.
I mean, sheesh.
Well, Cowboy Bebop.
Nobody's played that one but me.
Ah.
All right, I'll quit making fun of her and she'll quit making fun of me. We'll bring back. You'll see at least the continuation of this one and probably some other videos as we go along. All right, I guess I was gonna say great Friday, but it's Monday. Well, have a good day and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.